let's continue styling this. I just add a little bit more since the last video. For the button that we just created, I just added the small. So instead of having this wide backdrop when you click it with the ripple effect, it's just smaller. And then I also added style up here. So for the first header up here, I set this to be 70% in width, and then the two last to style with width 100%, so it looks like this. This is not a requirement, it's just up to you. This is how I wanted it to look. All right, so we're going to create the right side of our basket now. And what I want to do actually is I want to grab this table that we just created before and paste this into the right area because they're similar. Let's just do it correctly. And like so we have a space here and like this. Because they are similar to each other, we still need 3 rows, but we need one for, if we look here, we have one column for quantity, one for name, and one for price, right? And then we'll do this one after. So we still need this one, and so we're just gonna paste this in and see, let's do a quick save and what that looks like. Cool. So we're going to switch around how this is structured now. So the first one, instead of taking up 70%, we're going to add in 30% here. And for the bottom one, we're going to add 20% for the space, and that leaves us 50% for this one. And instead of having name for the first one, we want price. We want name in the second one, and in the first one we want quantity. So the amount of bagels or shoes or whatever you're selling in this specific item. And the last one here is going to be price instead. So let's quickly do this, save, and see what this does. So this changes the feel of this one over here. That's cool. Now, in our design, we no longer have a description under the bagel here, so we can just quickly remove the description in our code, which is down here. This one, we don't want this anymore, right? This is just name. Awesome. So now it's in one line. We have the they are not being moved around, of course, but we don't care about that for now. Over here, we're going to have buttons, a plus button, a number, and a minus button. Then we have the name, and then we have the price over there. So we're going to switch around our code down here where we print out the actual items instead. So the first one, in the first table here, this is where we have our name. Just delete this. And in this one, we're going to create VIcon, if I can spell it correctly, for the first one. And in this one, we're going to create a, what's it called? In between, it's called add_box. I think that's the same one as we have up just above us. And we're going to add the color of orange from our theme. And then we're going to add a item quantity. So let's just write 1 for now. And in this one, we're just going to do a copy paste in like this. And in this one, we need to have the name of our, what's it called? The minus sign that we want, right? And that's called, I just have the name here because I'm super lazy. And that's called indeterminate checkbox, I guess. And that's what we want for this. So let's click save and see what this does to our page. So this is the plus sign, the actual amount, and the minus sign, right? So that looks similar to what we have, and these are these things here, and they are in the same table, table data, I think it's called, the TD stands for. So they should always look the same no matter how many procs we have. We'll just leave 1 for now, and we'll switch this later. The second box we have is the item name, so we just need to switch this one here to name instead. So this should print out the name of frozen yogurt and so on, right? The last thing we want to do is the item price. So we don't need a button here anymore. So let's just remove this. Let's go back to one line up here, like so. And let's add in our interpolation here. And let's grab the item.price. And let's hit save. And now we can see the price was over here. And this is also what we will be using to change it. So whenever we get a click here for +1, this will also increase and the value and so on. So this is the first part of the designing of the basket up here, and we'll just quickly add the header one and then the calculation spot with the subtotal, total, and delivery price in the next video.